on, Ash. Huh? Have a donut. That always cheers me up. Pika pika!
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Wait a minute. Last I checked, that's not a donut.
Localization, to make local, fix in, or assign or restrict to a particular place, locality, or etc. In the context of foreign media such as movies, TV shows, or video games, this means to change a piece of media to be more suitable for the audience it is being exported to. This may mean changing or editing lines of dialogue and or censoring certain visuals. Despite how simple it sounds, there are various ways to go about localization. There are preferences for doing no localization versus doing localization, and there are pros and cons to both opinions.
It's time to do.
Localization takes foreign media and changes or translates it in order to appeal more to the target audience. There are many benefits to localizing things. This allows the viewer to relate to the content better. It helps the viewer connect to the media by translating things you wouldn't understand otherwise, such as jokes or common sayings. It also respects cultural differences. If there is something that would be considered offensive in the culture that you are attempting to translate to, you can edit it out in order to make it more presentable for public consumption. Localization can also bring attention to iconic scenes or cartoons that we wouldn't have seen otherwise, such as Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! There are also some downsides to localization. There is often unnecessary censorship. This is when something is censored beyond reason, editing things that would not even be considered offensive at all. In fact, there are times when the censorship creates an inappropriate situation, such as changing a character's race. There is also the risk of altering the media so far from the original material that it no longer carries the same meaning.
If you want the authentic source material, surely no localization would be a preferable option, right? However, there are some issues that arise to that too. Translations that have no localizations often have editor's notes to explain aspects of a culture or parts of the language, but these are lengthy paragraphs that block portions of the screen and will take the viewer out of the experience if they have to read footnotes just to understand a show. Oftentimes, the notes will be unnecessary or redundant depending on the translator. Also, these translations are direct, which can cause conflict when a word in another language has no English equivalent, leading to even more notes covering the screen. While it is authentic and true to the source material, a lack of localization is not practical for most viewers. Editor's notes would turn into a chore for a casual viewer.
They were talking about coal or water or something like that. So I told them, Ototoi kiagare!
Wait a minute. You know the mean don't come here ever again, right?
What?
So should we have localization or not? It is necessary, but not in excess. An average viewer will not understand the bare source material, but they don't need translators or editors to dumb down the material for them. Even for people who don't like the idea of localization, it is necessary to be able to fully understand the material. To appease both sides, we can include localization in media to ensure comprehension, but follow these certain rules and guidelines to ensure authenticity. The rules include: Number 1. Editors should understand their target audience. A show aimed at a mature audience does not need to censor dark imagery or swears, but a show aimed at a younger audience needs to be changed to be appropriate for the age range. Number 2. The culture aspect should be preserved. Things like written text, historical references, folklore, and other traditions should not be erased from the material. A casual audience may not instantly understand these aspects alone, but when exposed to said aspects and given more context to them, it can serve to educate the audience about the foreign culture. Number 3. The media should be translated to mean almost exactly the same thing as it originally meant. However, jokes that would not be understood or translations that would be lost due to a large cultural difference can be changed. Number 4. Establish what changes are necessary and unnecessary. Any and all changes should reflect upon the target audience. Basically, use common sense. If there is a culturally insensitive aspect in the media that is not offensive to the origin country, it can be changed. However, this should be done tastefully in a way that allows the original intent of the creator to stay intact. Overall, including localization in foreign media is beneficial for the viewer. Done right, it can preserve the culture and original intent of the creator while still allowing the viewer to understand and better enjoy it. Following proper localization guidelines will allow even those who disagree with localization to be able to enjoy the rich culture from which the material came. Tasteful localization allows old and new fans and even casual viewers to understand and connect to the media, which creates something that everyone can enjoy together.